This way, this way, this way. Over that way. Do we have anything in that one?
Wheel.
In front of you. Look, keep walking.
No. Yes!
What?
A bunny! Another bunny!
Oh, go over and see him.
Hi, Daddy.
What?
Rabbit poop.
Rabbit poo.
Ew.
Take him out. You see him?
Yeah, right there.
Right there. Where is he?
Right there.
Oh, okay.
Right, Daddy?
Uh-huh.
That one is cute. Well, we already caught it. Right?
Yeah.
Take it by one word.
How many you got?
Hi.
Okay. Good job. 5 rabbits. Morning, folks. It's a miserable old day out. We had some snow yesterday, but it's all gone again this morning, and the woods are soaking wet. And I was gonna go reset my snares out again this morning, but I was just too miserable in the woods, so I decided to come out in the shed and boil the kettle, pour up a cup of tea. That's good. Lay that back down there. So folks, I hope you enjoyed that opening little video of my daughter when she was 4 years old, I think, back in the day. Yeah, we were rabbit catching and so on. And those were the good old days. Back then, we could use stainless steel snare wire. And that's basically what I'm going to talk about here today, guys. You see the title of the video is Tea Time Talk. And it's something I'm going to try. I don't know if I'll do any more of these, but I want to talk about snare wire in here that we're allowed to use here in Newfoundland and Labrador. Now, if you follow YouTube and if you follow Feathers and Flies NL, Braden Kosh, you probably watched his latest video where he does a comparison of the different snare wires that we have here we're allowed to use here in the province. Okay, they are the 6-strand 20 gauge steel 6 strands 20 gauge steel wire, commonly called picture cord wire, that we use here. The 22 gauge brass snare wire that we use here, and also the 21 gauge stainless steel wire that we're allowed to use here. Now, I say we're allowed to use it in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, but there's a little hiccup there. If you live on the island of Newfoundland and you're snaring, you're only allowed to use the picture cord and the brass snare wire. And there's been a lot of discussion about that, and that's going to be my topic for my tea talk today. So if you watched Braden's video that he published there last week, you saw that he did a compare and contrast with the 3 different types of snare wire. He did some strength testing, some kink testing and stuff. And kudos to Braden. That video needed to be done, to be honest with you, just to show the pros and cons of the different snare wire. Now, I'm not going to go talk about the strengths and weaknesses of the snare wire. I'm going to just talk about my opinion and my experiences that I've had with the different snare wires over the years. Okay, Strictly my opinion, guys. There's a big debate out there whether people want to use brass wire or picture cord wire, or whether we should be using stainless steel in the Newfoundland portion of the province. Big debate. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to talk about my experiences with using the different snare wires. Now, folks, I've been snaring for many years, and I grew up in a time when it was actually legal to use stainless steel snare wire in the Newfoundland, in the island portion of the province. Okay, that video you see with my daughter, and we got 5 rabbits that morning. We used stainless steel snare wire in that scenario. It was totally legal, and we used it back in my day. And I might be a little bit long in the tooth, or one of the wise old fellows that, as Braden mentioned, I think, but. Yeah, back in my day, I mean, we had, there was picture cord and stainless. I don't remember if we had the brass snare wire or not. I honestly don't remember. I know that we didn't use picture cord. And the reason that we didn't use picture cord was my father, I'd asked my dad about that. And all they had when they were growing up for snaring was picture cord. And I'm not sure if the picture cord that they used was more than 6 strand or whatever. But the problem with the picture cord, according to my father's experience, is that it was hard to set. It would kink, and it wouldn't give you a nice round snares and stuff. It's just difficult to set. So, but by the time I came along, we were allowed to use stainless, and so we had stainless or picture cord. Well, I'm going to use stainless, and we did for years and years and years. We caught many rabbits with it. You see the video of my daughter there. We caught those rabbits that morning, and I've found my experience is showing me that stainless steel wire is more reliable and durable than the other 2 options that are available to us right now. Now, kudos to Braden. He did a wonderful job comparing and contrasting those wires. I mean, he did strength tests and stuff, and I think at the end of it, it proved that stainless was the strongest of the 3 wires, and that's fine. I think the other thing that came out of his video was that the brass was probably not as bad as what people were saying. I'll have to disagree on that one, and that's only based on my own experience and my use of the brass wire over the years. Okay, so yeah, spoiler alert: Braden's going to do a follow-up video about the 3 wires too. So stay tuned for that, and he might have it already published by the time this video gets published. But check out Braden's channel, folks, to get an update on the snare wire testing. So, folks, if you watch my videos if you're subscribed to the channel, you probably watch my rabbit catching videos from last fall and winter. And to tell you the truth, I was so frustrated, I'm being nice when I say frustrated. I was so frustrated with the brass wire. That's what I used last fall. I've had several rabbits bust off snares, snares just gone. And now there's, is not good, because the rabbit's going around with a bit of jewelry on his neck or on his leg or on his waist, and he's gone off in the woods and probably gone off somewhere to die. And if you know me, folks, I only eat or hunt what I eat, I should say. I'm not looking for 100 rabbits, 150 rabbits. I want a few rabbits for the pot, and that's all I do. I set out 15, 20 snares on average, get a few rabbits maybe to bottle up, get a few to make a rabbit soup. Because my daughter really loves rabbit soup, and she's been loving rabbit soup since that video that you saw in the beginning here. But yeah, just to put a few in the pot, and that's all I'm looking for, right? But last year I got 7 rabbits total, and I'm sure I lost at least 7 more to the brass snare. And at the end of last year's season, I was totally rotted with the performance of the brass snares, and I'll get into that in a second. About there's some issues that may have contributed to that, but I was totally rotted, and I switched over to picture cord at the end of the season. I didn't catch any rabbits on the picture cord. It was late in the season. I had a week left, and I only get weekends at the snaring guys. So yeah, I didn't get a rabbit on the picture cord, but I did switch over to picture cord. This year, I'm not using brass wire at all. I've switched to picture cord for good for now, for this season. We'll see how that goes. But I'm not going to put brass snare back onto my sticks going forward this season. Now, I've seen a lot of comments and opinions about, I'm not setting my snare right, or you should make sure you got a long enough drag stick. There's many different ways to set the snare. You can set it on what they call the fisherman's twine to put it on. Many different varieties. they all are great, and some of that might have contributed to some of the snares that I got busted off. I don't know for sure, but I did try all the 3 techniques. I know I tended to probably put the snare tight on the stick, and to me that makes sense. But when you do that, you create a kink point, and I'll just show you a picture here of what I'm talking about. I actually went and did the trapper's course a couple of years ago, and the guy told us, if you're setting snares, just put more and more loops around your stick, and then tie off your snare, not as tight, not right tight to the stick, but tie it off a little bit away from the stick, so that you don't create that kink point. Now, I tried that also. Not sure which snare busted in comparison to all that, and I did try the fisherman's line snare. Tried that actually. I think Charlie White brought that one to my attention back in the day, and I did get a rabbit on that one. But all in all, from my experience, I don't like the brass wire compared to the performance that I was getting with the stainless steel wire. And I think it just comes down to the strength of the wire. Stainless steel is more durable, and it lasts a long time out in the environment. I've seen snares out in the woods, walking along, you find a stainless steel snare that somebody else had set there, and it's in pristine condition. It looks like the day it was laid, it was first set. I know growing up, when we used to set snares when I was a teenager, we go setting snares. Me and my buddy, we use stainless wire, and we go up, we set our snares, and at the end of the season, sometimes we just draw up the snare, wrap it around the stick, and leave it in the woods, and then come back next fall. We just reset the same snares in our rabbit snare line. Reset the same snares in the same runs, and those snares were perfectly fine. If we did get a rabbit in one of the snares, we take the rabbit out, fix up the snare, and reuse it. I would never think about reusing a brass snare based on my experience from last year. Pitcher cord, probably, and I said if I do get a rabbit in the pitcher cord snares, I'm going to replace the snare also. So, but we never had that issue at all with the stainless steel snares. Turkey jerky. Have a little snack with your tea and outdoors, guys. It's all good. That's delicious. Now, we're not allowed to use stainless on the island portion of the province, but you can use it in Labrador. Now, the reason we're given about not using stainless on the island portion of the province is because of the protection of the pine marten. And I guess the pine marten is I'm not sure if it's endangered or at-risk species. And the thought is that if a pine marten gets into a rabbit slip, and it's either pitcher cord or brass, he has a chance to break free. He doesn't have a chance to break free from that stainless steel snare. I don't disagree with that. Stainless steel snares are pretty strong, right? And pine marten is probably stronger than a rabbit, just knowing the anatomy of the two animals. But my question is, okay, are we getting a lot of pine martens in our snares? I understand that we had to protect the pine marten. I have no issue with that. And I understand, I think there's pine marten more prevalent on the west coast of the province, west coast of the island of the island portion of the province. In all my years of snaring, I've never seen a pine marten in any of my snare lines. All my years of snaring with stainless steel snares back in the day, never ever caught a pine marten. Now, maybe that's because pine martens are so rare, or they're just not prevalent in the areas that I'm snaring. I'm not sure what the answer is there, but I do know that I did not ever get a pine marten in a snare, and it brings up another question. So, pine martens are pretty popular in Labrador. I've seen YouTubers, trappers catch pine martens all the time. It's a healthy population there, from what I can gather. The guys in Labrador also set stainless steel snares. And that's the first question. Is like, are you catching pine marten in your stainless steel snares? You set your snares for rabbits, but are you getting pine marten by mistake in those snares? I don't know if there's any data on that on that aspect. Is there data on that? I haven't been able to find any data on that. It might be available, and if it is, point me in the right direction. But there's a question that needs to be asked. If you're setting snares in the Labrador, stainless steel snares, are you catching pine marten by mistake in your snares? Forget the trapping. Obviously, you're allowed to trap pine marten in Labrador, but are you catching pine marten by mistake in your snares? And that's a question I like for someone to answer. And if there's data on that, I'd be more than welcome to look at it, for sure. But at the end of the day, I don't like the brass wire. My experiences with it are terrible, and that's because I was used to using the stainless. We had great success with the stainless. I know, and any snare wire, you put a kink in it, you're going to break it. You get enough power, pressure, a rabbit tugging on it, it'll break if you get a kink in it. But I can honestly say that I never lost as many rabbits ever with a stainless steel snare. And I know I've had broken stainless steel snares, but nowhere near the numbers that I had with the brass wire snares. Not even close, right? And that's the part of the problem right now, is that us old folks, we'll say, we had that experience with stainless steel wire. It was reliable. We used it. It was great, right? Younger generation, they never use it, don't know anything about it. So if you had that experience, you might appreciate some of the frustration that you see out there now these days with snare guys who have snare lines, and they're losing these rabbits, so many rabbits using that brass wire. Okay. Now, as I said earlier, I'm switching to pitcher cord. I know from Braden's test that the pitcher cord is probably not as strong as the brass wire, but where it's stranded, I think it might be a bit more durable. I'm not sure. I haven't caught a rabbit yet this season with the pitcher cord wire, but I will be using it this season, and I will keep everyone updated on how that goes. I might regret making that decision. It might be worse than brass wire. I don't know. But like I said, growing up, we never used pitcher cord. In my father's time, they used pitcher cord. But when I came around, we could use the stainless. So we'll see how it goes this fall. So folks, as I said earlier, this is just my opinion and based on my experience I've had with snaring over many years I've been at it, okay? There's nothing political about this. I got no axe to grind, anything else. I just don't like the brass wire. And if there's a better way of setting a brass wire snare, tell me. I've tried some different methods, had some success, and some not successful. So all I can say is I lost more rabbits on brass wire than I ever did on stainless. We'll see how the pitcher cord makes out. So folks, I hope you enjoy this tea time talk, I'm calling it. Maybe I'll do more, I don't know. I'm not going to get in any political venues or anything like that. That's not my game, not my goal whatsoever. Just sit down, have a cup of tea, have a chat. Could be whatever. Nothing world changing or anything like that. There's enough of that on the internet and on the news now. I'm not interested in any of that. So I hope you liked this little video. Like I said, I was intrigued when I saw Braden do that testing with the snare wire, and he actually mentioned my name in the video, so I figured I better do some sort of a video in response to that. So, Braden, I'm looking forward to your new video coming up. Like I said, I was talking to Braden about this. Braden's a buddy of mine, guys. We've done collaboration videos together, and I talked to Braden after that video came out, and had a great chat with him. And like I said, spoiler alert, there's going to be another video on the testing of the wire, and I'll leave that to Braden. He's going to do a great job with that, and I look forward to seeing that video, buddy. But anyway, for now, I'm going to finish off my tea, eat my turkey jerky, and hopefully the rain will hold up, because it would be terrible in the woods now today. It is just wet, soaking wet. So folks, make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment. If you've got information about rabbit snares or tips and tricks, please leave it in a comment. If you like this type of video, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. Love reading the comments. Appreciate all the feedback. And I love everybody taking the time to tune in and listen to me rant for a bit. Anyway, folks, take care. And I'll leave you with some more video footage from years past of my daughter out rabbit catching. It is great to go back and look at this stuff, guys. I mean, she's 4 years old and she had a ball, right? It was just amazing. Anyway, long time ago, now she's gone off and grown up to be a fine young woman and blazing her own path in this world right now. So That's it's always good to see that. Anyway, guys, take care and catch you in the next video. Cheers.